This is us. This is what the news is acting like Armageddon. Oh yeah, some of my favorites. Supposed to be some brutal storms come through here today. For this time of year, it's kind of weird. They said that we could have up to 60-mile-per-hour winds, which sounds like that could be a little... I mean, here's the thing. These weather people, they tend to exaggerate just a bit. I don't know how you guys feel in your area, but at least in our area, I really feel like, especially with hurricanes and stuff like that, they tend to over-amp stuff. If the Weather Channel says up to 60-mile-per-hour winds, what you can probably expect is like 15-mile-per-hour winds, maybe a gust to 30. They over-exaggerate by at least 50 to 75%. I'm running to Home Depot to get some more shelving. We're adding a row of shelves in our pantry. Solo mission to the Po. I think that's the right dude right there. I'm kind of hoping this works the way I thought it would. I took some rough measurements. Bought what I thought would work. And you know how that goes. Sometimes you go to Home Depot, you buy what you think will work, and then when you get back to the house, none of it works. So I'm hoping this is gonna work. Hot in there for some reason.
It's crazy.
There we go. New shelf. This is us. This is what the news is acting like Armageddon. Should be here shortly. Ooh, that's better. Jesus, when I first flipped it up, white balance was horrible. I looked like Donald Trump. Huh? So hopefully the news is crazy. Hopefully they're exaggerating it. Although like 11 or 12 people did die in Georgia, so I don't know. But it does look pretty bad. There's a lot of red. By 8 o'clock, all this stuff's supposed to be through. It's almost 7 now, so we'll see.
Let there be rain, and there was rain. Let there be rain, and there was rain. On me, everything.
As you can tell, we survived the storm. It's another day now. It really wasn't that bad. It actually blew over probably in about 30 minutes. But I'm filming this on a different day because after that, I went to sleep. Charlotte's eating her breakfast. So anyway, the main point of today's video, I was gonna do my impressions on my new GoPro Hero 5. I'm gonna have a couple negative things to say about the GoPro because it's not perfect, but in general, big fan of GoPros. You really can't get the footage from any other kind of camera you can get from a GoPro without destroying the camera because they're waterproof and fairly shock proof. And they have the great little system that they have with about 1 billion different attachments for you to hook it on your head, your chest, your car, your dog, your baby, your wiener. Point is, you can put a GoPro anywhere. They got bike mounts, sticky mounts, any kind of mount you can imagine, which is great. This will be my 3rd GoPro. I had a, this will, so this will be, it's like she taps it on purpose.
What's so funny?
You're crazy.
What's so funny?
This will be my 3rd GoPro. I had a, actually I'll get it, hold on.
My 3rd try at making this video.
This will be my 3rd try to make this video. All right, so yeah, 3rd GoPro. I had the GoPro Hero 2 was my first one, and this thing seems like a brick now. At the time, this thing was, nobody could believe how small this camera was, but now it looks kind of big in comparison. And then I got a Hero 4 Silver. I got the silver because on the 4, you kind of had to make the call between getting 4K or only getting 2.7K with a built-in LCD. Because I would rather have the LCD. Adding that backpack LCD kind of sucked. And having an LCD is worth its weight in gold as far as I'm concerned with framing shots and whatnot. Now you have the new Hero 5 Black. The GoPro Hero 5. They definitely made some changes. Part of it was this new operating system they're using. I'm a pretty big fan of it. Let's get into some of this closer view and see what we got. So you just tap on the back and that opens up everything. You can swipe left, you can swipe right and move through your stuff. Here's all your auto low light settings, your manual auto controls, all that good stuff, and you just go swiping right through all of it. You can also control your field of view from here. Just again, swiping up and down, you scroll through your different fields of view, and then once you find the one you want, it's as easy as just tapping your screen, and then that selects the one that you want. Also, you can control your frames per second from here. Again, everything's laid out. You just pick whatever frame rate you want. It's all laid out across here. You give it a tap, and it just sets it for you. Same with your resolution. They got all the resolutions across the screen. Give them a tap, resolution set. All your video modes are here also. You can scroll through here. You can set your different types, video and photo, looping, whatever you may want. And again, simple tap sets it for you. This whole operating system is based on just tapping things, just like you would a smartphone or any other touchscreen you're used to. I think it's a lot more user-friendly and intuitive than the old operating system they had. Even though it was a touchscreen, I feel like they've made some pretty good headway with this one, and it's a lot more friendly. Still got your button here at the top for your recording. You still have your mode button over here on the side, but you are missing your button on the front that used to be here. So here is your door on the bottom, access to the battery and memory card. Here's that rubber seal that keeps it waterproof without the housing. When you snap that thing shut, it is watertight down to 33 feet, I think it is. Got a similar door on the side for your connections over here. Again, another rubber housing to keep everything watertight. And on this one, you have a mini HDMI and a USB-C, which is different than what you had in the previous models. But everything seems to be switching to the USB-C, so I guess GoPro decided to go along with it also. Still kept the same screen on the front of the GoPro. Nice, easy to read, quick view for information. GoPro 5 next to the GoPro 4, really pretty close to the same size. If you look at them side by side, the 5, even though it's waterproof without a case, they really didn't add a lot of bulk waterproofing. It's still pretty close to the size of the 4 without the case, so that's nice. I mean, if you sit them side by side and look, real close to the same size. Overall, huge fan of GoPro. They also have some great features outside of the durability and waterproofness of them, they have a great time-lapse feature. They have a night-lapse feature that's really cool for capturing like stars and moon and stuff. So in general, huge advocate of the GoPro. One of my main gripes, you've probably heard me say some stuff about on the vlog before, was the new case. Okay, here's my gripe with this case. It has to fit snugly, I get it, because if it wasn't snug, it would rattle and that would be an issue. So I get that it has to be tight, but here's the problem. When you go to take it out, that's all grand and dandy. But if you go, say you're trying not to touch the lens and you want to get this out of the case, okay? You can't do that, that's not gonna work. So you go, okay, so I'll push here. So you try to push here, and it jams up, it locks in because it's so snug in there that if you try to just push from one side, it hits and then it locks into the case. Okay, you try to push here. See, nothing, it's not moving. So what you have to do is evenly push from both sides at the same time to get it to come out. Which is fine, except for then you end up with, probably can't get this on camera. You can't see it, but you end up with a big old greasy thumbprint on your screen. And then after you take it out, you have to kind of do this. The other thing that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of is this rubberized coating on it, even though it's nice and it's tactile and it makes it grippy and awesome. I have a funny feeling it's not gonna hold up very well. Haven't had mine very long, but I'm already kind of scratched it up and stuff, which, I mean, again, any of these gripes I have about GoPros, they're gonna be small gripes. I think overall, the new one is a big step forward and it's got a lot of great new features. The voice control is pretty cool too. GoPro, start recording. The light come on. Okay. GoPro, stop recording. It's pretty cool. That can definitely come in handy when you've got it on a head mount or anywhere that's within voice reach behind you, whatever. You don't have to go stop what you're doing to go turn it on. There are other voice commands too. You can tell it to start a time lapse. There's actually a whole list of them. There we go. You can screenshot that if you want. You can also just go to GoPro's website. But one more thing, GoPro. I don't know if you know what a GoPro Hero 4 battery looks like, but it doesn't look like that. They changed the battery again. It's annoying because if you had a gang of batteries for your 4, you now can't use them on the 5 and you gotta get all new ones. So is that so that they would sell more batteries, or was there some technical reason? I don't know, but it is what it is. I also don't love the spot of the memory card. Right there. It's kind of hard to get to unless you have fingernails, which I rarely ever do. I keep mine drilled off pretty good. It's hard to push that in to get it out because the battery's in the way, so you got to take the bat. Again, these are all tiny gripes. And I'm only saying this stuff so you guys are aware of some of the very small nitpicks and pitfalls of the camera. Overall, it's great. I almost feel bad saying bad stuff about it because I really do like it a lot. But you should be aware there are some things. So overall, would I recommend it? Absolutely. It's a great camera. Would I recommend it if you already have a Hero 4? Sure. The reason I hesitate on that is if you would be buying the 5 strictly for an increase in video quality, there's not a ton there. Very similar cameras in video quality, other than the frame rate on the camera is higher at each resolution than the previous camera. You can get a smoother slow motion. The new features of the camera may be what makes it worth upgrading from the 4 to the 5 if you have the funds. So anyway, that's my take on the new GoPro. Overall, fantastic camera. Does it have some imperfections? Obviously all things do, but overall I think it's a great product. Hopefully this, I know probably hasn't been quite as technical as some. Hopefully some of you found it helpful. If you need more technical specs, I'm sure if you do a search on YouTube, you'll find some really, really technical stuff. See, there you are. I have eyes in the back of my head. You're right there.